Kganki Matabane of the Black Business Council, CEO, joins us for a conversation on how the executive order by United States President Donald Trump will impact trade. Kganki, very good evening to you. A lot has happened here. Feathers have been ruffled. The ripple effect, how do you measure it?
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers. We, as they say, we are living in interesting times.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think you are dreaming. The way things are moving so rapidly, you're thinking, but this looks like a dream, and hopefully one day it will end. But it looks like it's going to be a very interesting 4 years. And as business, we just have to find a way of adjusting. And I think that's part of business life. You have to adjust to the environment that we have. But this is very radical. I think the orders that are happening almost on a daily basis, and it's difficult to even see how South Africa is going to be able to work with the US and other countries that are also impacted. But unfortunately, from an aid point of view, I think the aid part, that is the health part, is not necessarily affected, but the other parts that are affected are not necessarily as significant as to South Africa as to it happening with other countries. I think our worry is that the AGOA that has been negotiated is likely to be affected. And unfortunately for AfriForum, I think AfriForum and Solidarity, they actually shot themselves on the foot, because majority of the beneficiaries of AGOA are farmers. Now, if AGOA does not go ahead as planned, it means a lot of farmers are going to suffer, and because there will be tariffs, which means that then the goods won't be affordable in the US.
Yeah.
And then that's where the bulk of the farmers are making a lot of their profits. So that will then affect South Africa, because then South Africa may have to come in and subsidize the farmers, because they won't be able to be getting some of the profits that they're making from the US. But we hope with the envoys that have been prepared now to go to the US and other countries, the EU and others, to basically go and say this is the South African story, and the Black Business Council will be part of those convoys. So those envoys, sorry, not convoys. Yes. Those envoys that are going to be going to the US to basically put our facts on the table, because as you know, most of these decisions are based on distortions. Probably 99% of the information that President Trump has based his decisions and his orders is not true. There's no genocide in South Africa.
You touch on the impact of AGOA and, of course, agricultural sector being a huge chunk of that. But we know that South Africa exports other goods, including motor vehicles and minerals, between 150 billion rand and 200 billion rand annually to the US. I mean, how crucial is it for the US not to boycott South Africa? Because, you know, when we look at those numbers, it really is showing that South Africa cannot afford a US boycott.
Yes, you are right. I think I was just emphasizing on the farmers, yes, mainly because of the AfriForum Solidarity. But the US is like the big brother in a way. So is either one or first or second in terms of the trading partner for South Africa. So we can't afford not to do business with the US. So still, for example, you may have seen President Trump saying he's going to impose 25% tariffs on steel. So
Yes.
that will affect a lot of companies in South Africa. You spoke about vehicles, minerals. There are a lot of big companies that are in South Africa that are doing business with the US, and we really, as a country, we are very small. I think in the bigger scheme of things, we can't afford to be in a boxing match with the US. Hence, the importance of the envoys, because even though we know the majority of the decisions are not taken on correct facts, we can't fold our arms and say no, we are right. Then we can't take decisions. So we have to go and lobby, and lobby Congress as well, because those are the people who will have influence, political influence to the president, including a possible meeting with Elon Musk, because as you may have seen, he seems to be the president of the US.
Yeah.
So it's important that we need to have conversations with all the role players who will be able to understand that South Africa is not in any way, it's not reckless. South Africa is a constitutional democracy. Everything else that we do, we follow the constitution, and the constitution has been praised all over the world that it's a good constitution. So South Africa hasn't done anything outside the constitution, because we still have a very, very strong judiciary that won't allow such things to happen. So it's important that we need to go out there and tell our story.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time this evening, Kganki Matabane, the Black Business Council CEO, joining us for that conversation, of course, on the back of the US trade curbs and, of course, discussing the possibilities around AGOA.